Hi everyone, this is Cindy, and I just wanted to give you an update on the farm journals I'm doing. And by the way, this video is not for children, even though I'm using a children's book. Charlotte Webb, I got her fabric on the spine. Usually I put rickrack along the rough edges, but I'm not going to this time because I don't want to cover up any more of that C. So that's the way that's going to be. I have her signatures ready. I've got the papers cut, but I don't have them in any particular order yet, so you'll be seeing those in the future. I got the fabric on the other farm journal, and I will put rickrack on it, but I haven't even got that far yet, so that's usually one of the last things I do. So last night I was had determined I was going to do this project. I have a bunch of fabrics in the different drawers and containers in my craft room, and I know you guys, if you've watched Gail's videos, you've seen that she's got something like this where she just has laces and fabrics that she uses behind pictures and things for just like part of the layering and collaging. So I decided, you know, I want to get something. I don't want to have just all this fabric just bundled up in a drawer, so I got it all out and I was trying to cut it. And there's just so much of it, so I decided I'm going to make one to sell. So this is the one I'm going to sell. And that way it cuts down on what I have left, because it's quite a bit. So anyway, I just want to show you real quick, and this is going to go in my Etsy shop. This is just like a, I don't know what kind of fabric it is. It's slippery type. And on this one, I still have my marker where I traced around it, and it is dissolving ink. So if you get this and you don't want that blue on there, just put a little water on there and it'll go away. This is like I don't know. I knew the crepe. It's like a crepe fabric, I think, or what I think of a crepe, but it's not. It's a smooth crepe. I don't know. And this was just a lacy dress, and I like the color, the peachy color. So there's several pieces of that in here. I think there's at least 3 of each one, and some there's 4 and some there's more. And this is some tulle. You can tell it was gathered in a little skirt of a baby dress. So there's a couple of pieces of that. And this is just like a really thin, like a sheer lace, not lace, but curtain or something. And then the last thing on here is these strips of lace that I cut from another shirt, I think it was. And I'm trying to show you. Some of them were shorter, and then some of them were longer. Like this one's a longer piece, so I just left it long, and these are perfect size for going over a spine. So anyway, I want to sell this in my Etsy shop, and maybe someone else can get use out of it, and they don't have to go buy the whole curtain, the whole dress, and all that sort of stuff. So I was playing with that. Then of course I had scraps everywhere, so I just made some of these little flowers. It's just gathered up strips of fabric, and they will work on. They're kind of thick for inside a journal, but definitely would work on a cover. So I made a few of those. And then I started doing some, not messy stitching, slow stitching is what they call it. And I can do this all the time. I just love it. So I just had scraps around, and this is that crepe fabric. I don't think I showed it in here. Here it is. So, oops, he came loose. I'll get him fixed. It's just a crepey fabric. Let me just show this one. And it ravels real easy, so it's really good to go behind things. So I used it behind my slow stitching, and I had the farm fabric there, so I tried to get little pictures out of it that would go in the farm journals. So there's a barn, and then here's some apples. Here's another barn. And we got a cow. And a rooster. And then I just had scraps left over, so I just made another one. And then I had, I found a dog too, so I did the little dog. And then there was just parts of the fabric that were just like a floral type thing. So like, I'm thinking that's supposed to be cotton in the field. That's my guess. Because it's in a, I don't know, maybe it is a flower bed. But anyway, I just, I liked it, and I put a little white flower on it, so there I have that one. And there was a whole sunflower. And then here's just a little patch of flowers. So I will just keep these. I hope I'm being on film with this. Keep these for just, you know, whenever I do flower journal or something. Then I thought I'm going to make some fall ones. So I went and grabbed some of my fall fabric, and I really like that one. Then of course I found some silk leaves. I thought, what does that look like? So that's my best attempt. Here was my first attempt to get the leaf on there. So I stitched around it. That took forever. And then this one, believe it or not, those are my French knots. Aren't they horrible? But I thought, well, they kind of add a little texture to it. So there we go. And then I finally decided to just run my stitching like it was the veins of the leaf. So I did that. And then, of course, I had even smaller pieces left over, so nothing goes to waste. So these are going to be clusters, I think that's what they call them. I'll just run them through my sewing machine, even one that little. And see, I figured, you know, that's Christmas colors, if nothing else. So anyway, got those. So while I was doing all this, I was watching YouTube channels, and Roxy Creations was doing a project, and this is several videos down, not anything current, a couple of weeks ago. She was making, I think it was, I could be wrong about that, but she was making like a little accordion thing for her journals. And when she was using glassine bags, and when I saw that, it reminded me of a project my daughter had done at a scrapbooking convention. I'm pretty sure it was a make and take, and it's just like a little purse. And it's the accordion, except this time they didn't attach the bottom. They just had a cover and a back, and the accordion, and then of course they put a little tab there and ribbon, so it was like a little purse. So anyway, this has stayed in her room forever, and it's got her movie tickets in there. I think I put them in there. I don't think she even cared about it, but anyway, it gave me the idea. So I kind of took Roxy's idea, and I kind of took that idea and made one for the little farm journal. And this was just from the cut-off paper, and there's the envelopes. And because that was the idea, Roxy was using the glassine bags, and I thought, I don't have glassine bags, but I remember making these out of envelopes. So what I did is I just took 2 envelopes, cut them in half, then glued them in the scrapbooking paper. So I thought we'd do one really quick just to show you what I did. So here's my cutoff, and here's envelopes. Now these envelopes are smaller than those. They're not as long. But you have to worry about the width, see? So I had to go with these. So I can't cut this in half. I don't think it would just be too short. So I'm going to just cut them about 3/4, and then we'll just have the top part. We won't use it. So what you do first is just close them up. So glue them closed. I think I hit the camera with my glasses. I'm not used to it being this close. And I just got these envelopes through something at Goodwill or Salvation Army. You gotta make sure you don't close the, get it inside where that white paper's at, because then it will close up part of your pocket. I mean, saying don't get glued there. So, no doubt I will, but we'll just deal with that when it happens. Okay, so there we go. Now, when I folded, I just, moved the envelopes just a little bit below that fold. So we're going to try to figure out at what height to cut these envelopes. So, of course, I need to remember. Let's go ahead and do this. Here's my flap. We'll just fold over the flap. So this will be a little bit below the flap. I don't have my paper trimmer in here either, so we're just going to have to cut this by hand. So let me just try to get that. So if I get this made first, then I know what envelopes will fit. There we go. Okay, so I just a little bit below the fold. So these need to fit. I think it's right flush. It's just flush with the front of this. So, let's see if I have a pencil. Right there. So, you said I don't have my paper trimmer, so we're just going to eyeball it. And then we're going to use this piece to cut all the rest of them. One more. You can do as many as you want, 3 or 4. I did 4 the first time because that was the 2 halves of the 2 envelopes. So, oops, I hit you again, sorry. Okay, let's see. If I sit down, I might not hit you guys, so let me try doing that. Okay, now let's make sure these open up. And you're going to glue 2 of them together, and you're going to glue them in the middle. So I finally got one of these bottles. I had it on order. It took like a month to get it from Amazon, so finally got it, and I must say it's exactly as wonderful as everybody says. So it's got full bottle of Fabri-Tac. Okay, down the middle again. I know I'm doing it about 1 inch wide. So, and one more. I mean, I'm sure people have made these all over the internet. I was just last night just watching her and thinking, I'm going to make one, but mine is going to be different because I'm going to close up the bottom. See, this one's not closed up, so we're closing the bottom up inside this little scrapbook paper. So, okay, that fits just fine. Now what I'm going to do is glue the entire, let's check the accordion. Maybe. See, there's your accordion. It's not quite dry, but we can go ahead and get this glued in. I just glued the whole thing. I started to make it a pocket, but I figured I've got enough pockets in this, so I don't think I want to make it into a pocket. So just fold that over, squish it down, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. You know, I was looking at these bottles, and that's just a regular cake decorating tip, and I want to say they make one even smaller than that. I'm not sure, but definitely you can change that out if you wanted a really big one. Okay, and that's it. So let's put that aside, and there's your little accordion envelope flappy thing. I'm not sure what you want to call it, and I just decided to use my, it's a what do they call it, corner chomper, and it makes like a tag cut there. So anyway, and then if I was to glue these in the journal, and I probably, you can put it in just a pocket, but it's gonna bulge out, so I don't know what kind of pocket you would put that in. So it just needs to be by itself. Now, it can be paper clipped in, or it can be glued down. Now, if it was gonna be glued down, I would probably take that right here, some string, and this is baker's twine, and maybe glue it behind the pocket so that you could just, you know, tie it closed. And if you weren't going to glue it, then you can just put like a little eyelet there, run some string, and then you can do it that way. Or you could use some Velcro, which I started to use Velcro. Then I thought, well, if I glue it down, I can use a baker string. So I'm not sure yet, but I probably, that's kind of my thought, is these are going to go at the very back pocket. And that way you can have all your extra journaling supplies in here, just different stickers and cutouts and ribbons and things you can have in there, and you can add to your journal as you go. So anyway, that's just what I was doing last night. I was making these, I was doing some slow stitching, and I made this, and I would have done more, except it got really late at night, so I'll go again tonight. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.